You are on the verge of a metamorphosis that will be more profound than you could have anticipated. You will soon generate considerably more money than you could have imagined. But first, you must understand the truth, which will alter everything. You're in the terminal stages of life as the person you used to be. The version of you that fought, questioned, and bore the burden of uncertainty is receding. When you wake up in the next days, the globe will seem quite different. Not because it has changed, but because you will now view it through the eyes of someone in the top percent. Three tremendous forces are now merging in your reality. Forces that have been developing for months. The first is the cosmic debt that has quietly accumulated in your favor. Every late night, every sacrifice, and every time you choose progress above comfort has been documented in an unseen global ledger. And now it's time to repay. The second is an energy upgrade inside your cells, which prepares your body, mind, and soul to hold huge riches without sabotaging yourself. The final revelation is about to occur, and it will show you how all the parts fit together and why every fight was important. The most difficult portion, however, is ahead of you. None of this takes further labor. In fact, the more you attempt to control or push it, the more likely you are to interfere with what has already been initiated. This transition is occurring because you are one of the few persons equipped to command abundance rather than pursue it. All of the drama you'd been through wasn't keeping you from reaching your target. It was transporting you to it. Every breakdown, every storm, every time when you felt broken was the universe rebuilding you into something stronger, larger, and ready for a mission. Your previous self couldn't bear the universe, and you don't make errors with the selected ones. It waits, builds, and discloses just when the time is right. What's happening right now is the result of decisions you made weeks or even months ago. Choices that were insignificant at the time, but set off a chain reaction that has gathered uncontrollable velocity. That wave is poised to slam into your life with tsunami-like fury. People have noticed. Some look at you with hope, jealousy, and mistrust. They've witnessed you sow seeds, but they have no clue what type of harvest awaits. They anticipate moderate development, steady improvements, and a quiet success story. They are unprepared for what occurs when someone created in fire accepts their cosmic birthright. What will happen in the following days is more than just a breakthrough. It's a revelation, not nebulous intuition or abstract symbols, but specific knowledge that will open doors you never knew existed. It will seem magical, even trance-like, since your mind will battle to accept how easy the answer was all along. You've been looking for elaborate techniques and intricate plans, yet the truth was always closer than you thought. The first secret relates to something deep inside you that has been suppressed for years. Your receptors, or inner gates, regulate your capacity to completely experience joy, pleasure, and abundance. It's as if you've been colorblind your whole life and are now ready to glimpse the complete spectrum. This is not just about money. This is about discovering your ability to keep and appreciate all nice life has to give. When this opening occurs, abundance will not trickle in. It will rush through you like a dam bursting wide open. However, this surge brings about a transformation that will shake up the pretenders in your group. Because as your receptors open and your energy expands, everything around you becomes shallow, and the unprepared are driven into the light. Those who believe they could stand next to you without being altered will soon realize they are no match for who you are becoming. People who formerly pretended to be leaders but lacked actual power have been feeding off your genius, attempting to imitate your maneuvers and magic without ever realizing where it came from. But when genuine authority emerges, every facsimile falls like a paper crown melting in rain. You will not need to confront anybody or prove anything. Your true light will make any counterfeit version of you seem painful, the obvious to the world. The second mystery emerging in your life concerns contracts, both earthly and celestial. These are not only economic partnerships, but divine alignments. A new residence that reflects your enhanced status, a car that reflects your updated lifestyle, relationships that validate your value rather than deplete it. All of this has already been finished in the invisible world of manifestation and is now waiting to materialize in the tangible. The people who belittle you, who play games with your time and energy, who treat you like a choice rather as a priority, are going to see directly what happens when someone completely embraces their worth. You will not need spectacular speeches or confrontations. Your energy change will be more impactful than any words. Your influence is growing at breakneck pace because you finally accepted real self-expression. Stop lowering your light to make others feel secure. No more shrinking to avoid causing anxieties. That version of you has vanished forever. And here is when things take an intriguing turn. The third secret is related to your physical transformation. The athletic improvements in your body, the vigor, the look, and the newfound confidence are not independent of your financial success. They are related. You are becoming magnetic on many levels. And magnetism attracts everything nice. Soon, there will be a celebration, a milestone, something marked with diamonds. Whether it's jewelry, a ring, or just the clarity of your new reality. This manifestation will be a tangible representation of your enhanced position. Others will notice it and realize you've arrived. Your detox has been more than just emotional. It's been lively. Your frequency has gradually increased, and you are now functioning at a bandwidth where abundance can easily locate you. It's like if you've been downloading a large file on dial-up internet and were suddenly switched to fiber optic. Everything that has been buffering is going to be streamed into your life in crystal clear HD. Your body has also evolved into an intelligent instrument, perfectly tuned to lead you through this new phase. You observe how meals affect your energy, how some situations raise or reduce your vibration, and how certain individuals either fuel or deplete you totally. This is not paranoia. This is wisdom. You are becoming more picky, drawing only psychic relationships. People who know what you need before you say it, who can tell when something is wrong before you say it, and who reach out at the right time. These deeper ties are replacing the superficial surface-level partnerships that required you to continuously justify yourself. However, when you enter this new reality, an old test will arise, not from the cosmos, but from your training. Your thoughts may suggest that you do not deserve this, that it is too wonderful to be true, that you should feel terrible for obtaining with such ease. That is the trap. That's when you scoff at the doubters and keep going ahead. Because guilt is all that stands between you and the empire that awaits you. Within the following several days, you will get knowledge that seems like a direct cosmic download. It may be a phone call, an email, a dream, or a chat. However, when it comes, you'll know it's the game changer you've been looking for. Your reasoning mind may debate it, but your spirit will instantly identify it as the boundary between your old and new lives. This discovery will reveal a blind spot you didn't realize existed. It will reveal an opportunity that has been there in front of you. Disguised as something regular, it will link dots you had no idea were part of the same image. And when the design is revealed, you'll realize how every failure, disappointment, and moment of uncertainty helped prepare you for this breakthrough. It will seem like you've suddenly remembered how to breathe after years of holding your air. Something inside you that has long been blocked is ready to open. When it occurs, abundance will rush through you like a dam breaching. Your intuition is refining to the point that hesitancy vanishes. Decisions that used to take days of overthinking will now be made immediately, and each one will be correct. Analysis paralysis, second-guessing, and mental noise are all disappearing, leaving behind a profound knowledge that is so obvious and unmistakable that you will be unable to reject it even if you tried. And when this change takes hold, you'll see number sequences appearing everywhere. Signs from the cosmos verifying that you are on the correct road. The synchronicities that are occurring around you are not random coincidences. They are heavenly affirmations that you are precisely where you need to be. These are cosmic breadcrumbs, meticulously put along your route to direct you to your destiny. Your consciousness is now growing, adjusting itself to signals that were always there but unknown to you until this shift. Every meeting you attend, every discussion you have, and every communication you send will begin to carry a frequency so high that others will detect a change in you before you ever speak. Your very presence will demand respect in ways you have never earned before. This is not arrogance. It's an alignment. It's you finally taking up the place you were always supposed to inhabit. People around you will begin to make unexpected discoveries in your presence. They'll see that you're more than simply a surface-level success story or a face that fits in. They'll begin to perceive the breadth of your knowledge, the places you've been, the storms you've weathered, and the events that have formed you into the person you are today. You don't seem to have been through much, which will surprise people who assumed they had. You found out when to talk. The filter is gone. You are no longer packaging your reality to make it more appealing. You're telling it as it is. And that direct honesty created shockwaves that demanded attention and respect. Your voice has changed, not physically but dynamically. Now, when you talk, people pause and listen. Your statements hold weight that they never had before. Not because you worked more, but because you asserted the power that was always yours. The discoveries you get will seem more like remembering than learning. You've always knew you were meant for greatness. All the training that taught you to settle. To be realistic, you should decrease your expectations. That was not your truth. That was interference. And now the interruption has subsided. The signal is bursting through crystal clear, reminding you of who you have always been. Even your sleep habits are changing. You're sleeping more deeply, not because tension has subsided, but because your awareness is growing. Dreams are growing more vivid, with layers of significance that provide direction and inspiration. Ideas come to you at all hours, so powerful and exact that you'll feel forced to keep a notepad next to your bed merely to record them. You no longer seek inspiration from others. You are becoming the inspiration that others will seek, fulfilling a need you once had. The notion of, if only I could be like them, is going to change completely. Soon, people will look at your life and murmur, I wish I could be like them. The pupil is becoming the master, and the transition will be so sudden and evident that everyone will be stunned. Those who previously disregarded you, belittled you, or pretended that doing business with you was a favor will be forced to see your vindication in real time. But by the time they understand what they have lost, you will be too far ahead to need their consent. Their sorrow will not even register. You've become the biggest narrative twist in the lives of everyone who ever wrote you off. The biggest secret going to be disclosed is this. While they watched and waited for your demise, you were preparing for a return. It will radically alter their perception of what is possible. They hadn't realized they were on borrowed time with you. They were unaware that access to your energy, knowledge, and resources was about to be permanently denied. And some of your friends are going to have a major breakdown about it. They sought to drain your light, while leaving you thankful enough to take less than you deserved. But when you accept your value, their whole relationship with you crumbles. They will be outraged if you attend gatherings without inviting them. They'll become upset if you don't answer to their SMS straight away. They will disintegrate when they realize you are no longer accessible for their never-ending drama. Someone just attempted to play games to make you envious. They parade their diversions, demonstrating how busy they are while displaying their so-called alternatives. But you saw through it right away. You sensed the manipulation the instant it occurred, and now you're going to put them in their place. Instead of disputes or words, use quiet and elevation. Nothing is more audible than the sound of you going ahead without them. Your disregard for their games will hurt harder than any confrontation ever could. People who felt they were doing you a favor by being in your life are soon to understand how mistaken they were. You were always the gift in their lives, and they wasted that privilege. Now, when they try to circle around after seeing your climb, they'll find themselves on the outside looking in. Not because you are bitter or furious, but because you are functioning on a frequency where their old strategies are no longer applicable. You have just become inaccessible at that level of awareness. You're moving away from being everyone's fixer and healer. For much too long, you functioned as a support machine. People go up, enter their issues, and expect answers to come out. That version of yourself has retired for good. You are learning to strike a balance between giving and receiving. And, although it may seem uncomfortable at first, you've spent years giving everything and asking for nothing. It's an essential step towards your new existence. The person formed through all of your hardships is now taking center stage. The talents honed by difficulty, the knowledge sculpted from adversity, and the strength developed from being challenged. These are no more scars. These are superpowers, and now they form the fundamental basis of your prosperity. The shortcut revealed by the universe does not delete your previous efforts. It amplifies it. Every learning, difficulty, and breakthrough adds up to value. As you get to a level where your effect is considerably more than you ever dreamed. Your problems were not punishments. They were preparing you for the reaction ability that comes with great accomplishment. And now your business enterprises are set to take off. You've nourished that vision, honed that creative concept you've been working on. The crowd is ready. The market is aligned, and the timing couldn't be better. What seemed to be sluggish, painful development was really precise preparation. And now the acceleration starts. You'll find yourself making choices out of delight rather than fear, asking, why not? Instead of detailing the reasons you can't. The transition from scarcity thinking to abundant living will astound others who have become used to watching you play small. The passive revenue streams you've been constructing are going to turn into active rivers of riches. The procedures you put in place during lean times will now scale seamlessly as your impact and viewership develop. Money will begin to flow as you sleep, eat, travel, and live your life with the freedom that previously seemed reserved exclusively for others. For the first time in years, the universe is going to pamper you. After bearing the weight of others, always being the strong one, and taking on slack that was never yours to bear, you are going to be coddled, pampered, and supported. At first, it may seem strange, like a toddler refusing to take a nap, even if rest is precisely what they need. You've conditioned yourself to grind in order to win every triumph with maximal effort. But the supernatural has changed your job. You are no longer a fighter on the front lines. You've stepped into royalty. Your new job description is to accept and surrender. The capacity to be cared for is the ultimate key to unlocking everything. The shift in your life is not just physical. It's about the environment, relationships, and spirituality. Your surrounds will change to reflect your own evolution. People who cannot keep up with your frequency will inevitably leave your social circle. Make room for those who can walk alongside your new vibration. Your everyday routine will change from survival to abundance, from barely getting by to totally living. While the changes will be significant, they will also feel completely normal. Even your body is reacting, with tension dissipating, joy growing, and your whole being automatically aligning with its best condition. The chronic tension you've been carrying for years, the sleepless evenings that took your tranquility, the stomach troubles seemed sporadic. Nothing was random. These were signs of living below your real energy capacity. Now, as you connect with your destiny, your physical body is altering to meet your higher awareness. The dream physique you once envisaged is no longer a daydream. It's becoming reality. Every ounce of work you put in, every act of constancy, every healthy decision you made, even if it seemed little, is going to pay off in ways that will surprise you. Your inner revolution is finally appearing in your external form, and no one will be able to ignore the metamorphosis. Even your doctors will be shocked by the gains they see, results that cannot be explained by a single intervention. Your body is mending at a pace that defies conventional timescales, propelled by less stress and more pleasure. The energy you thought was vanished is returning stronger, brighter, and more sustainable than ever. This shift creates natural limits for folks who are navigating toxic relationships or heavy family dynamics. You do not need spectacular confrontations. Your energy is being refined to such a high degree that low vibrational connections can no longer hold you. You aren't pushing folks away. You're merely growing out of them elegantly and naturally. As your confidence and self-esteem improve, so does your own style, which is evolving away from vanity and toward authenticity. It inevitably seeps into how you show yourself to the world. She'll start dressing, walking, and carrying herself like someone who understands their worth, not because you're trying to prove it, but because she finally believes it. As a result, the doors of visibility expand wider. Your next speaking events will not seem daunting to strangers. They will feel like private chats with individuals you already trust. Stage fear, self-doubt, and the imposter mentality that formerly held you back will go, replaced with enthusiasm, conviction, and the worth of your voice. The microphones are waiting. Press conferences, interviews, speaking, platforms. People are ready to hear you, not because of hollow hype, but because your viewpoint has been forged in the fires of personal experience. You're not discussing theory. You aren't selling dreams. You are giving testimony about change. And that type of sincerity has force that can never be replicated. People will lean in when you talk, not the skeptics or haters. They've lost their grasp on you completely, but the ones who believe and see you as evidence are the ones you're supposed to motivate. They will hang on every word. You're entering a phase in which your witness becomes your ministry. People will not just want to hear your tale out of curiosity. They'll desire it because they really want the blueprint. They'll wonder how you rose again, how you converted agony into power and failures into strength. And you will have the answers. Not all answers, just the ones that are most important. Because you experienced it, your life is becoming irrefutable proof that a breakthrough is conceivable. And you will inspire people via sincerity rather than perfection. The greater tale of your journey from hardship to victory, from unknown to irrefutable, is already being staged by the same intelligence that is constructing your achievement. Whether it's a documentary, a book, or massive media coverage, your testimony is too important not to be presented on a larger platform. The universe is shaping your tale into something that will encourage countless people to believe in their own abilities. What you've gone through wasn't just for you. It was preparation for the role you're going to play in instilling hope in others. Your readiness to disclose vulnerable details about your experience is no longer simply a personal act of bravery. It's become a worldwide bridge. Every narrative you tell, every lesson you teach, and every challenge you open up about paves the door for others to follow. People who have been living in constraint, drowning in shortage, or imprisoned by fear will see your words and journey as stepping stones to their own breakthrough if you open up and be yourself. You become the lighthouse amid their storm, demonstrating that plenty is not limited to a chosen few. It is open to everybody who is prepared to forge their own path with honesty and perseverance. Your accomplishment will have far-reaching consequences for the charity causes that have been close to your heart. Money will not just enhance your personal life. It will become a transformational instrument. Schools will be erected. Communities will be elevated. The voices that were stifled will be heard again. And possibilities will flood into areas where pessimism formerly existed. Every intentional decision you make about how to spend your resources plants the seed that grows into a forest of transformation. Your riches becomes more than simply personal wealth. It also serves to heal the community. And once this happens, your world will accelerate. Your phone will begin to ring with possibilities you did not pursue. Your email will be flooded with invites you never asked for. Your calendar will fill itself with appointments and activities that are precisely aligned with your goals. These are not accidents or fortuitous breaks. They demonstrate that you've reached the point when alignment seems like destiny. That call you're going to answer, that message in your inbox, that invitation you're about to get, they are not random. They are locations on a treasure map created just for you. Every exchange will provide a hint. Every meeting, another element of the puzzle. When all of the elements come together, the image will leave you breathless with its beauty, accuracy, and perfection. At the same time, your internet presence is reaching levels of impact that most people only dream about. The material you provide will consist of transmissions rather than simply postings. The energy behind your words, movies, and works will be imbued with enough truth to pierce through the cacophony of infinite digital clutter. People will be attracted to you not because of great marketing, but because they experience something unique. Authenticity. You won't just attract followers. You will attract a tribe. People who have a strong resonance with your frequency and come prepared to learn, develop, and grow with you. This magnetism is not transient. It is sustainable since it is based on substance. It is ever expanding because it is founded on truth. You aren't only about to earn money. You're transitioning into a money magnet. The distinction is crucial. Making money implies pursuing effort and tiredness. Being a money magnet implies that plenty comes to you spontaneously, regularly, and in unexpected ways. Wealth starts to flood in as you relax. While you play, while you're alive, you've done some mending around here. Receiving. Around the time of release, guilt, believing that you are deserving of more, has produced the ability to hold vast plenty without self-sabotage. Every time you gave more than you received, sacrificed without being recognized, or took less than you deserved, you were unconsciously developing the power to receive without resistance. You were increasing your container, and now the cosmos is free to flood into it without restriction. Even the way you approach information is evolving. You've always had the heart of an explorer, the curiosity of a scientist, and the determination of an investigator. Previously, this would lead you into rabbit holes, wasting time and energy while searching for solutions. But today, that inclination is being honed and sharpened into a gift. You're learning how to collect information without being consumed by it, and how to store wisdom in your mental and spiritual memory banks without being bogged down in specifics. You're not simply gathering knowledge anymore, you're living it. The contrast is striking. You're becoming both a seeker and a knower, able to explore and then return with pearls of wisdom for others to use. The ability to search without becoming lost, to know without arrogance, is becoming another magnet for abundance, attracting opportunities that require not just knowledge, but wisdom. Here's the secret blessing. Everything that made you feel too much, too intense, or too different is now revealed to be your precise superpower. Your extensive research, insatiable curiosity, and ability to see patterns that others have overlooked. Everything had led up to this point. You were not lost throughout the inquiry. You were creating a memory bank of solutions for the world's future needs. Now, when the world looks to you for solutions, you'll understand that all those years of feeling neglected were really years of preparation. You're not going to squander your time wandering down every single rabbit hole, chasing every diversion, or diverting your attention in 100 different ways. These days are gone. Instead, you cling on to the crucial facts, like riches in your memory vault, because you know you'll need them eventually. Your intellect has been polished into a strong strategic tool. It is no longer crowded with noise. It's polished, precise, and razor-focused. Every time you think you're not merely making a plan, you're really creating better approaches, more polished solutions, and more elegant tactics that cut right through the chaos. And the best part of it all is that nothing from your trip has been squandered. Every step you've made is important, as is every hard lesson you've learned, and every win, failure, fall, and ascent has silently stacked bricks to form the foundation of who you are. Now, those years of suffering were not penalties. They served as training grounds. They were sculpting and chiseling you into a vessel capable of supporting the weight of your mission. What you thought were diversions were really routes that led you to this very point, when all the threads came together in perfect harmony. Right now, the blueprint for your achievement is being downloaded into your awareness, not via textbooks, lectures, or other people's techniques, but through a profound understanding that emerges from the center of your being. You don't need to study it. It does not need much effort to implement. You just have to let it. Because the fact is that you are not learning how to succeed. You are remembering how to be yourself. And then you enter inside that memory. Success is no longer something you pursue. It's something you emit. You may have pushed play or begun reading this expecting to discover a new trick, a hidden approach, or a step-by-step formula for generating money. However, the realization is far more powerful. You didn't need anything new. You've always had all you needed within you. What is changing is not your resources, but your awareness. As the elite, that percent is not defined by income, possessions, or social standing. It is characterized by awareness, which recognizes that abundance is not something to be earned. This is your natural condition. Scarcity is an illusion. Scarcity is the problem in the system. Abundance was the initial design. The chosen ones are not picked because they are born more unique than others. They are unique in that they choose to accept the call, embrace the truth, and walk into the identity that has always been theirs. The true difference is not in ability or chance. It's an alignment. It's saying yes to destiny while others slumber in denial. And that is precisely what you are doing right now. When you reflect on this moment, you will realize it for what it actually is. The last time you questioned your fate. This is the last stretch when the fog clears and you discover that the so-called awakening you thought you needed was never the goal. You were never sleepy. You were merely detached from your memories. The harsh awakening is the realization that you never needed to be awakened at all. You merely needed to recall who you had always been. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the deepening of my faith. Please let me believe you even when there is no tangible proof. Let me believe in your eternal presence, knowing that you will never hurt me. I realize that your intentions for me are ones of success rather than harm, in order to provide me with a bright future. Thank you, kind and everlasting Father, for always hearing my voice. I give this prayer to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provisions. I am thankful for your presence in my life and the richness you provide. If this video spoke to you, please subscribe to the channel and share it with others who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your trip and how you're getting ready for your own victorious homecoming. If you would want to help us out, please consider donating via Buy Me a Coffee. This allows us to consistently improve our content in order to provide you with the best possible experience. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No present is too tiny. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps to promote God's message and provide hope to others. Do not stop here. Watch our next video for amazing insights into the indications that indicate you are the chosen one. We've loved sharing this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for sticking with us until the finish. Keep shining brightly and face your fate with confidence. See you next time. The God Connection sends its blessings to all lovely individuals.